Hey! Hi, we're the Poverty Warriors of SLCC, and this is our presentation on poverty.
Poverty, a contrast of the American dream. Imagine what it would be like if basic everyday necessities that we typically take for granted, such as food, clean water, safe shelter, and money, were suddenly out of reach. This is what poverty looks like. According to Google, poverty line is defined as the estimated minimum level of income needed to secure the necessities of life. $1.25 is defined as the least amount of daily income needed by a person to survive. So that's the world's poverty line. 1.8 billion people live below the poverty line globally. Out of that 1.8 billion, over half of them are illiterate. 1.6 live without electricity, and 1.2 without the access to clean drinking water. Here's a breakdown if the world were a village of 100 people.
At the end of this slide, we can say statistic that $58 billion is what needed to completely end poverty. This is 1% of the world's income, and only the three richest people in the world could end poverty. The lack of education, natural disasters, lack of money, greed, no opportunities, overpopulation, drug and alcohol addiction is what causes poverty in America.
Children of global poverty. Around 30,000 children under the age of 5 die from malnutrition and preventable diseases every day. That's one kindergarten class every minute, or 10.6 billion a year. We may not realize it, but this goes to show how much we take for granted. We get so caught up in life that we forget how much we have and how fortunate we really are. According to UNICEF, out of 1.6 billion children in poverty, 640 million don't have adequate shelter, 400 million have no access to safe water, 270 million have no access to health services, and 121 million have no access to education. Hunger is the number one cause of death in the world.
Poverty in America is often ignored and put on the back burner, but poverty is spreading and takes no prisoners. In 2015, 15.1% of all people lived in poverty. That's about 46.2 million Americans. There were about 643,000 sheltered and unsheltered homeless people nationwide in 2009. Almost two-thirds stayed in an emergency shelter or transitional housing program, and the other third were living on the street. It is estimated that 16.4 million children live in poverty, and up to 500,000 children may currently be homeless in the U.S. A 2013 UNICEF report ranked the U.S. as having the second highest relative child poverty rates in the developed world. According to a 2016 study by the Urban Institute, teenagers in low-income communities are often forced to join gangs, save school lunches, sell drugs, or exchange sexual favors because they cannot afford food. Poverty is also associated with expanded adverse childhood experiences, such as witnessing violence, feeling discrimination, or experiencing bullying.
In the third highest rate for poverty, Louisiana had nearly 889,946 people in poverty last year. This includes more than 300,000 children, which is almost half of everyone. Wages in Louisiana continue to lag behind the nation. The median household income was $45,727 compared to the nation, which had a median of $55,175. Louisiana is the top state that contains over 20% of children under 5 who are at risk of going hungry.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, over 40 million people that live in poverty live this way due to wage inequality, inflation, and poor education. This is happening because employers are looking for more skilled workers with higher education due to innovative technology. This creates income inequality and unemployment because employers are either hiring very skilled workers for high pay or low-skilled workers for less pay, slowly eliminating the middle class. Poverty and a lack of education is a destructive and never-ending cycle. Poverty makes it harder to access education, while a lack of education makes it hard to escape poverty. Education in the U.S. is typically funded by local communities, so if the local community has a low income, the quality of education will be lower, further pushing people into poverty. Since 2008, Louisiana has cut college funding 39%, while tuition has risen 80% over the same time frame. Something has to give.
Breakdown of poverty in Lafayette, Louisiana. Households headed by single mothers are most likely to be affected. Children below poverty level in Lafayette, Louisiana is 30%. 30% of low-income single mothers can't afford diapers. Some women are forced to make use of 1 or 2 diapers, using them more than once. This causes rashes and sanitation problems as well as health problems. Without diapers, children are unable to enter into daycare. The lack of child care can be determined to single mothers, hindering their ability to obtain employment.
Poverty by age, gender, and race. According to Source Data USA, 90% of population is determined in Lafayette, Louisiana. 23,083 out of 121,472 people live below the poverty line. The largest demographic living in poverty is female 18 through 24 years of age, followed by males 18 through 24, and then female 25 through 34. Black population is the highest with a percentage of 32.63, followed by Hispanic.